who was it? John. He's like, yo, man, where the heck's... Oh, wait.
Where the heck's he?
We're live.
Welcome to the Project Exodus Corp podcast. My name is Paul. Nope. Joel's. Yep.
Oh.
This
And
is
Greg.
This is Shaneal, Joel, and Greg. Greg's over there behind the desk. You can see him down in the bottom left-hand corner. Paul. Joel, of course, is our regular, and then there's Shaneal. This is weird. So we have a monitor like behind the cameras that we can see. That's
our low budget podcast.
Bootleg. Why is it doing that again?
But episode 49 of the Project Exodus Corp podcast. We want to say thanks to everybody that's watching. So we're back at it. We also have like a sweatshop going on. Guys pressing shirts. Shout out to Steve, Nolan. Is Zach doing anything?
He's supervising.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then most importantly, thanks to Steph. Steph has been in here setting up all the cameras, getting everything ready.
Our makeup crew.
Yeah. I'm out of mascara, so she brought some backup. Episode 49. It's been a minute. How long do you think it's been since the last episode?
At least, we can't have that.
Oh, yeah.
Three.
She wants to be introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah, we also have Mia.
Did she go?
She's not on camera. It's unfortunate.
We got the, what is she? What is she called? What's the term?
Blue healer?
What's the term? Coping mechanism?
Emotional support dog.
Emotional support
Yes.
dog right here.
Yeah.
Of course, Joel would say coping.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you got. Her best is not, so I don't know.
That's why he's so happy now.
Yeah, so we've got the shirt press stuff going on. I think we're going to try to get back to a regular podcast on Thursday at some point. But yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, it's been a little bit of a break, but we're back at it.
We're now down to two.
To what?
Two, I guess, owners. Two people in the.
Yeah, I guess.
So
just for the record and for everybody wondering, Andrew's no longer part of Project Exodus. He wanted to go and do different adventures and think it was just the right time for. But we love Andrew. Miss him and I wish him the best. But from now on, it's just me and Joel. And tonight we have a very special guest, a new regular on the podcast, Miss Shaneal Lacey. Everybody calls her Amy.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Lacey.
Shaneal.
How have you been?
I've been great.
So Shaneal was a house lead for us at Wells up until this past week. Shaneal now has her own apartment with a Temu couch.
Yes, a Temu couch and a Temu entertainment center.
Yeah, and your daughter?
Yes, my daughter. Most important.
Yep. She's here too, right?
She is here.
Yeah.
She's over there.
The charger. But yeah, so we invited Shaneal on. Shaneal's always if you haven't subscribed to her Facebook page,
and TikTok.
Savage Peach. She's real big into content creation. Did I say it right, or is it Peach Savage?
Savage Peach. Yeah.
I like Peach Savage better. It sounds like Macho Man Peach Savage.
Tomato.
Yeah. Joel's real big on social media too.
Yeah. Got a
lot of friends.
My moment.
Yeah. So how was y'all's week? Today's Thursday.
Busy.
How's it been?
Mine's been busy.
Yeah.
I start school on Monday. I'm really excited about that.
Oh yeah, what are you going to school for?
Nursing.
Dang.
Yeah.
Nursing.
Yep.
So are you starting like prerequisite level?
No. Okay, so right now I'm starting off like just like I used to be a CNA, and I because of my past, I kind of fell off on doing that, and I was in nursing school, but that was just my prerequisites part. But anyway, so I'm getting back into I'm doing patient care tech because it's only a 7-month program, but then in the fall I'll start a year program to do the LPN, and then after that I'll do another program to do the BSN. Okay,
so I have to illuminate one thing, like the progress. Where were you? You've got a year clean now. You're 18 months, right?
Yeah.
Compared to where you were 18 months ago, like really think about that. Like not even 2 years, year and a half went by. Tell us a little bit about your story, like where you've coming from and how you've gotten to this stage now where you're moving into a new apartment with your daughter, you're going back to college.
Yeah.
What got you to this point?
Okay. Well, like start from when I was in addiction. That part.
Let us know. Like, what?
I spent the last 5 years homeless and an addict. But when I got really tired of being on the streets, and so I went to clean recovery and I got some trauma therapy and got some treatment for drugs and alcohol. But then when I got out, my son passed away, so I had to make the decision to go right back and get more, or else I was going to end up dead probably shortly after. But I was at a very low point during that time. I didn't think anything was ever going to get better. I thought I was just going to be a homeless junkie for the rest of my life. So but I came to Project Exodus in March and started just, doing the right things. And well, I had done that starting in December after when I came out of rehab. And then I went to Purpose House first, and then I came to Project Exodus. But I got a sponsor once, and I started working the steps and just started doing the right things and taking all the suggestions. And now I'm thriving.
Yeah, obviously you're doing great. I mean,
Yeah.
we've got to watch you even in your recovery, like the challenges that have come up and the way that you've handled them. There was a time where I guess there was a warrant even, and they came and dragged you back to the armpit of the South Georgia.
Oh,
you
yes.
know,
Yeah.
and we watched you go through that, and
that was hard.
to explain that to people that are in recovery that might not understand like how challenging that may have been to just stay sober, just continue after all of it.
Yeah. Well, when I went to rehab, I had a charge from 2023 where I got a possession charge, me and Zach both, and my brother. And so when I went to rehab, I just wasn't even worried about court, because I was like, I'm desperate right now to get help. So the rehab facility had written all these letters to the what's it called, district attorney and everything, for me to let him know I was there. But when I ended up getting out, and I kept wondering, like, what do I do about this charge? Because I haven't heard anything about it. So finally, I'm sitting at a bus stop. I'm getting ready to go to work, and I was on the other side of town. I wasn't even in a regular place where I normally be. So it's not, I don't know. It was the weirdest thing. But I just left a doctor's appointment. I'm sitting there at Lockwood and University, and a cop whips around real quick and then pulls up on the curb, and I'm like, there's no way. He must think I'm somebody else, because there's no way he's here for that. And he comes out and he's like, are you Amy Lacey? And I'm like, oh my God, yes, I am. I already knew. And then they actually found like some sort of pill in my purse. It really was like a donated purse. So I don't know. I think it ended up not being what they said it was, because it ended up dropping. But so I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, facing the fact that I'm about to have to, deal with this charge from the past. But then I'm like, now they're telling me they're finding amphetamine prescription diet pill in my purse, and I'm like, no. But so I had to face that. And so anyway, I'm sitting in jail for like 2 weeks, and I'm waiting to go to Georgia because I had to be transferred to Georgia since the charge was in Georgia. And it was just rough, because I also had to be out in time for like June 21st was going to be my son's memorial. I'm sitting in jail and I'm like, I'm like, what the hell? It was horrible. It was horrible. And I know it was only a month, but it was the longest month of my life. And then when I got out, I just, like, it was all a miracle and only by God that I got to get out. Literally the day before my son's service was supposed to be. And I got to catch a ride with my friend that had actually was going to Florida to have the help, to come to the service. And we caught her like right before she was leaving to come to Florida, and the the public defender's like, if you can come get her right now, she can go home with you, but you better take her straight home. So we hauled ass back here, and it was tough. It was tough to be in Georgia. I hadn't been there since I saw my son last alive, and I didn't want to be there very long, because I'm not gonna lie, I was worried about what I was gonna want to do when I was there. But so I just hauled ass back to Florida, and everything's good now. It was a tough time, but
That was a lot. What so when you got back to town, tell us a little bit about kind of like your recovery.
well, amazingly, I'm grateful. Thank y'all again for saving my spot, because I was very worried about that. I was like, oh, when I get out of here, I'm not gonna have anywhere to go. I'm like, oh, and so I really appreciate that for.
It wasn't. I mean, there was never a moment where we wasn't going to save your spot. It was really Zach's that we wasn't going to save. No, I mean, just like real quick, like I want to say, like, when that took place, I remember, I want to say Zach called me or Angela called. So somebody called and said, SWAT team just pulled up and took Shaneal to jail. I'm like, what is going on? And then I call Zach, and he was just moving into we had just opened Robinson. Like, he was helping set everything up. And I was like, I think they're coming to get you. And, you know,
he just left his bags packed and just dropped them.
But at any point in that process, like, what kept you motivated to stay clean and stay sober? Like, was there ever a point where, like, you felt like quitting?
Yeah. Yeah. Even in jail, like, girls are sitting there. I didn't even know you could snort coffee. Girls are in there snorting coffee in jail, and making like hooch or whatever it's called in the toilet. So, like, it was very tempting. I know that sounds disgusting, but you're like, why? You know, it crosses your mind. But I'm like, I'm not going to get a white chip for snorting coffee when I get out of here. You know, or drinking toilet alcohol. That's weird. So, but no,
We called it Buck.
I don't know what they.
You did drink it. Look at it. That's all I can picture.
I did drink.
But what kept me holding on is just all the support around me, you know, and my kids, of course, and my higher power, for sure. God, you know, I couldn't have done it. It definitely was a God thing, and like I would lay there and like want to give up and just cry and just be like, you know, I don't know. It just felt like everything. I was like, I feel like I was doing everything right, and now that I'm doing everything right, it's all you know, tumbling down on top of me, and I'm like, what the hell? This is why I don't get clean. You know what I mean? Like, this is why. What's the point? But no, God kept showing up, and everything happened exactly how it was supposed to, and I'm grateful for that. And I do have to say, I have quite an amazing boyfriend, because he took that charge for me.
Allegedly.
No, he did. But yeah. So, but just the support.
What an idiot.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
That's
Well,
one way to keep the girl.
Yeah.
no, he already had me.
Yeah, you're indebted.
Yeah, 5 years.
I mean, it was his fault. No, it's alleged.
If we want to go there, I could tell that story, and it was all my fault. But yeah.
So you've progressed to a point, like, from, you know, in rehab,
Mhm.
going through the process of, you know, the recovery home. I don't want to speak too much about your previous experience before Project
Right,
Exodus,
right.
but like, if you could explain to someone that's like day one walking into a recovery home, like, what would someone expect walking into Project Exodus? Like, a couple of tips, or like maybe your experience from beginning to, you know, where you are now.
Well, I mean, maybe I don't understand completely the question, but I expected what I expected I got, and that was, you know, love. You know what I mean? Like, I got a lot of love from y'all, and still do. And, you know, Angela was a house lead when I came, and she was awesome. And, you know, I tried to be the same type of house lead, just welcoming and loving. And, you know, of course, you gotta work your program. You know what I mean? Because if not, then you're not gonna. No matter where you're at, if you're not gonna work a program, you're probably just not gonna make it too long. You know, because
Speaking of a program, when you first got into the house, did you start working a program immediately? Or
yeah,
did it take you a minute?
no, I started immediately.
Immediately.
I was desperate. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I don't want to go back to
You
that
hit
life.
that gift of desperation
Yeah, because
moment.
I know I'm gonna die if I don't.
Right.
I don't want to die, and I promised my kids I would never die of an overdose. So that would be, I've got it myself convinced that that's what would happen. So I keep my support group. Y'all have been amazing. So like, yes, I got a sponsor. I work the steps. I'm about to finish the steps. You know, it's been great. Go to church, that helps too.
Yeah.
Keep a good support system.
I feel super fortunate. Like I talk about it all the time. Like I just, the way that recovery was like laid out in front of me, like I didn't look at it like it was like, oh, I've got to do this. I just looked at it like I get to do it. Like it was like, okay, this is like a new adventure.
Yeah.
Like was that part of it for you? Was you curious?
I was curious because, you see all the success stories and stuff, and it's not, I don't even really mean about material things. I just mean like there's someone who was just as, strung out and hopeless as I was, and they don't even think about using, and they live a normal life now, and I never thought that was possible. I didn't think there would ever be a time in my life that I wouldn't wake up wanting to get high, or that I wouldn't want to, like, I had to drink over everything. You know what I mean? Like it didn't matter what it was. I had to drink for it. So to see people up there like the first person that just popped in my mind was Sonya, but people like that get up there and like they go from this to this, and you're like, there is hope. So, yeah, I wasn't like, oh, I got to do this. It was like, yes, yeah, I get to do this. There is a solution out there, and I get to be a part of it. It's nice. I like it.
How difficult is it to maintain a healthy relationship while in recovery? Like, it seems like you and Zach have done a pretty good job of having a stable. Is it really just because he's so docile, or what's the trick?
Oh, you put me on the spot with that one. I ain't gonna lie, I can be a little controlling. Yeah, like I can be a little controlling, so definitely I suppose don't do that.
Like to say something? Like,
And
he's not allowed to.
so I've learned to I'm learning to, like, I work my program, he works his program, and he doesn't, like, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. You know what I mean? That's what we say, right? And
Zach works a program.
he does work a program. He's got a good sponsor, but hey,
No, he's doing great.
he definitely is doing good, and I just have to learn to let him work his own program. And I think that helps. And you cannot focus on each other like that. Like you have to be two people. I mean, eventually you can come together as one, but like right now it's like me and my program and him and his program, and then we come together, but separate.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, people are in relationships in recovery. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I would say that there's probably a good statistic out there somewhere that talks about how it's probably not good, or
Right.
the success rate of them.
I agree
You
with
two have
that.
seemed to do, like, just the chemistry between you two. You're amazing. We love both of you, and it's cool to see it work.
Yeah.
When it does. And how often does topics of recovery come up in your, like, is that something you guys talk about a lot, or is it just left off the table?
We talk about it. He's like he he's very good to talk to. So like we talk a lot because like I'll come to him, or I'll just be talking about, like, sometimes you got to separate yourself from friendships and people, and he'll just like he's always the logical one, and yes, and he'll explain to me like how I should just like handle. Sometimes he'll explain to me how I handle a situation. I'm like, damn, that sounds actually very mature, and probably something my sponsor would say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So we do talk about recovery, but we try to have, we try to go on dates and just watch movies and as much as we can, which isn't very often, but it's a little more now that I have my own place.
So just to kind of close out the relationship thing, like what would be a piece of advice, like just a single, like, best piece of advice you could give to someone that maybe like two people that are coming into a recovery lifestyle and they want to keep that relationship healthy? Like, what is something that you would tell them that is a must. You must do this in order to salvage and keep that
I
relationship.
feel like this is the one time that you should focus on yourself. I mean, you should always focus, you know what I mean? Like, there's always, you got to have some self love. You can't be any good for anyone else if you don't love yourself first, anyway. You know what I mean? Because then you're just, it's just going to be doomed regardless. I just think, it's best for people to stay single, to be honest with you. I just see it all around me and I'm like, God, I mean, if we didn't have the relationship that we had and we just had, I would hope that I would have just stayed single because you know what I mean.
Which brings up a good point. Why? I wanted to ask this question at the meeting a couple weeks ago. Why do you think um, people say don't get in relationships your first year? What is the main, objective to that, statement?
It it could doom your recovery. You know what I mean?
Is it because you're growing? People are trying to grow and trying to figure themselves out, get to the root cause of the problems, and the
Yeah,
relationship just compounds
yeah,
the healing process.
right. Because I see people like, I know of one that's like, who'll be like, oh, I want to do more in recovery, blah, blah, blah. But my boyfriend wants to see me, so I'm not going to go.
Right.
And I'm like, but if it's important to you, it shouldn't really, like if he should support you, in that and what you want to do. And then like and it's also tricky. Like if someone's in recovery and your person's not, you know what I mean? Like if that person that you're with is not supporting your recovery, then you should probably leave them.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think another reason that it's important not to be in get into relationships, especially early, is the level of emotions it takes to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Like if you come into recovery single and then
Mhm.
you start dating,
Mhm.
there's a lot of really intense emotions that are in relationships, whether that's jealousy, envy, trust, and imagine if you like have your 3-4 months into sobriety and there's a big breakup in your life, like
Mhm.
it causes you to be mad, sad, all those secondary
One of
emotions of
those.
anger.
Yeah.
And those are all very triggering things that can trigger someone to use or give
Mhm.
up or quit. That's what I think, like is one of the main areas of not being in a relationship. And plus, the obvious one is like take that time to work on yourself so that you can handle those
Mm.
things appropriately when the time comes.
Yeah.
I joke about this all the time when Joel made this comment. Like, what are you gonna do? Pick them up on your bicycle and invite them back to your halfway house? Like you're in a state where it's
He
like,
did.
I did,
He
yeah, that's
did.
exactly what I did. But and
But what better place than to be super involved in recovery and go through your first sober relationship? You know what I mean? You have
Yeah.
mentors in recovery rooms, you have sponsor, you got guys to lean on. I mean, most people go to meetings, I think, in early recovery looking kind of, at least secretly
For a
looking for, yeah,
relationship.
yeah. Like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna date anyone, but the only reason I go to that meeting is because that one girl's there.
Right.
And girls are just as bad.
Yeah.
We
So
do the
Especially
same
NA
thing.
girls.
that were terrible. I never did any of that.
Yeah, right.
No, but
Yeah.
I mean, you have a really good point. I wish more people looked at it that way, Joel.
But-
Like in hindsight, when we look at it, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is a good time to test it because I have all of these tools around me. But
Well, I always have a different way of looking at a lot of things. So I was, that wasn't favorable.
who was you dating in early recovery?
Nobody.
Oh,
I
okay.
couldn't.
See,
There
you're
was just.
smart.
I just didn't. I didn't
He
find
didn't love
one.
himself.
No, I mean, I looked around. I went to every meeting in town, man. And, there was I don't know. I started trying to date
Didn't
outside.
you only go to
rooms.
men's meetings?
No, I mean that's I think only Monday night. In fact, I couldn't even go to my Monday night men's meeting because I was doing restore. So
That early you were?
yeah, I mean I'm not. Yeah, I've been in restore for over 2 years. So.
Yeah. How long have we been at this Sally?
I don't know. I was in there on Wednesday nights
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I remember doing the Strange Camel. I don't know when I started doing that in the summer, but it had to be like 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, that's wild. We've been going on 3 years. Yeah. So relationships, we covered that. We covered like what your, you know, how you got to here. What is like what's like the most authentic experience you've had as far as something you didn't expect to happen this soon?
Well, that I didn't expect to happen this soon. I mean, getting a place to live.
Yeah.
You know, that I mean, I've been talking about it for a long time. Even in addiction, I kept telling my kids, it's gonna happen soon. It's gonna happen soon. But even like when I finally did get clean and start, the program, I remember Angela moving out and me thinking, I'm gonna be here forever. And I love the program. It's not the house that's the problem. It's just like, how long am I gonna like? It felt like it in a way felt hopeless. You know what I mean? Like I felt good about being in the program, but I just felt like
You wanted what you wanted and you wanted it.
yeah, we
Yeah.
wanted what is that called? You talk about it all the time. Instant what is it?
Gratification.
Yeah, instant gratification. Yeah, we want to because we see people around us and we're happy for those people, but we're like, yeah, I can't wait for it to be my turn. Like we want it to be tomorrow, but in due time it'll happen when you're ready. Because I'm not gonna lie, when it started getting closer and I knew I was about to move out, I was like, oh, can I handle this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I'm not gonna have drug tests. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna have accountability
Yeah.
as much. But first of all, me and my daughter have talked about it a lot. And she knows the deal and she knows, like, so she's kind of like my accountability partner now.
I
Like
mean, we can come by and drug test you if that's what you
can
need.
totally do it. I would love that. Like no, but it's been it's
Zach,
actually
get the
been
cup.
Yeah.
it's actually been a lot easier than I thought. I was like, I don't even want anything, so what was I tripping about? But I feel like you always should stay prepared though for moments, because like I don't ever want to just think, well, I could have a beer. You know what I mean? Because that
And that happens.
can
Like,
never
Yeah.
have a beer.
It's going to run through
It's
your
like-
head for sure.
yeah. I mean,
I've
that was
never been
probably
able
the
to.
biggest reason I was going to meetings a lot
Yeah.
later in my recovery, was just as a reminder.
Right.
Like I talked to an old friend. I think he had 13 years clean, and he recently relapsed, and he wasn't around a lot of the same recovery, and he just started thinking that those thoughts are going to come.
Yeah.
Like the more I stay away from recovery or whatever, the more I start thinking I'm this normal person that can go, I
Right.
tell Steph all the time, let's go have some margaritas.
Yeah, it happened to me. It happened to me just a couple days ago. Like I went out and with a friend, and we were having sushi, and they ordered hot sake,
I used to love
and
that. Yeah.
2 shots.
and they were like, "You want some?" And I was like, "No, I don't drink."
Yeah.
But I think later, like I just thought to myself, like, am I willing to throw away
Mm.
almost 4 years of sobriety for something I know that I'm not going to enjoy?
Or
Like-
that you've made it this far without it, so why?
Yeah, like
You know what I mean? Like why even do
And
Those
it?
like-
thoughts, man.
like
Those
Joel
thoughts.
said,
I
like
know.
you hear these stories of people relapsing, and it's just like, why would they do that? But if you really like humble yourself, like
Yeah.
it can happen to anybody.
It can't.
And the bad thing is when we drink, a lot of bad stuff happens to a
Yeah.
lot of people.
That's-
Yeah. Same.
But like if I'm left alone by myself with my own thoughts are going to win. You know what I mean? Like I have to be around other people in recovery and remind myself, like, what,
Yeah.
because I want to be normal. I want to be this person that can go out and drink socially. I want to be that. And like my mind will tell me this, this fake story.
Yeah.
I
What do
think
you
that's the
two?
beautiful part about being in recovery and going to meetings and being of service, is because you constantly going back and telling your experience, and you're telling your story, and you replay it
Mhm.
Yeah.
over and over, so you don't forget what the hell you look like.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to forget who we look like if we end up in isolation, and then we start lying to ourselves. Before you know it, we believe the lie. And
that the
a
pain,
margarita's on the
Yeah.
menu now.
Yeah.
So
Because that wasn't really that bad.
no,
I mean, it was just because I hung out with those one people.
Camera.
So
I've been smiling over here, just staring like when it's
But I can say, can I say something?
yeah, for sure.
I
You're
was
on a
gonna
podcast.
say that a minute ago when you were asking me something genuine, that but what I also wasn't expecting is so many friendships, especially from females. You know what I mean? But like if you get in a good, obviously there's gonna be people everywhere you go that aren't, whatever. But
Clicky.
there's gonna be some that are clicky still. But I have so many female friends and guy friends that I'm just like, wow, it's nice to have guy friends that are really just your friend and they're not trying to do anything else, and they respect Zach, you know what I mean? And then the girlfriends that aren't trying to just take something from you or talk about you behind your back. They're like real genuine friendships, and that helps. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a special someone that came in my store today, Mr. Tony C. And I don't want to say we had a debate because I usually yield to my sponsors' comments. What he was talking about, there's like this form of delusional recovery where a person doesn't really work the steps. They don't call their sponsor. They're just surviving with control. And what that means is like going to this meeting, taking this service commitment, this position or this job where it's involved in recovery. Like it's everything in your life is recovery, but it's not truly working a program where you got a home group every week. What is your take on?
You mean like a 12-step program?
Yeah, like it's pretty much saying what we do.
TC's got this idea, and like everyone, however they got sober, they feel like that is the only way to get sober.
Yeah.
And so when you got like TC, he's all like, there is no such thing as recovery unless it's a 12-step AA meeting.
Yeah.
Period. And he'll die by that. You know what I mean? So
I stood up to him, and I don't want to say like he backed down. He got quiet, but I just looked at him. I said, I would hate to know that I would be at any stage in my life where I would just crap on somebody else's recovery because it didn't look like mine.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
And he, I was proud of myself for saying that because there was a particular individual that he was referring to that's, really close to us that just got a new job at JCS or JS, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I'm proud of those people that have found a way, knowing where they came from and what they were like, and looking at the quality of person they are today.
Yeah.
Knowing that as long as they stay sober, I have no reason to critique what they're doing. And, for you, and for people like me and Joel and a lot of this like newer generation of like recovery, what I've noticed is it is a lot different. It isn't just going to a meeting and sitting around drinking coffee. There's a lot of other elements to recovery that really help improve your quality of life by helping, I was telling someone this earlier, like the 12 step says, we tried to carry this message. We don't do that. We carry the message, right? Like there's no try involved in it.
Right.
Like what would you say about your recovery is unique to you in the way that you carry yourself?
I don't know. It's a good question. Because I do go to meetings, a lot, and and I have a sponsor, and I kind of do the traditional 12-step program, but I think that one of the things we say a lot is people, places, and things. So if you're surrounding yourself with people in recovery that are sober, I think that that's obviously going to be helpful. I support anyone's program as long as it keeps them sober.
Yeah.
But somebody said something to me the other day, it pissed me off so bad because they were like, "Oh, I can't believe you do AA." That is such a it started going off on me about how I'm going to relapse and all this stuff because I don't do NA. And I'm like, actually, I go to both meetings, but I'm working the AA steps. I have an AA sponsor, but it keeps me sober. Like, I'm not really that, I don't know.
I think that some people get it.
Yeah.
Right. We meet a lot of people that are getting into the recovery thing, and let's say that they're both, right? Maybe drugs is a little more prominent than alcohol, and you explain to them like, hey, this is how AA works, because it's very sensitive. Like, they don't want you to go in there and stand up and say you're an addict, which rightfully so. And you'll explain that to some people and they just get it, right? They'll go in and they know to say, hey, I'm an alcoholic, and talk in certain meetings about alcohol rather than drugs. But then there's some people that don't get it, and they're extremely offended. They think that one program or the other is just diabolical. It's sad to see that. It's almost like infighting between two really good programs that are just
When we're all trying
designed
to
to
do
help.
the same thing.
Yeah. When we started Next Gen Recovery, I remember me and Sonia sit on stage, and afterwards Sonia was like, it was so cool and unique to sit on stage and one person say addict, the other one say alcoholic, and no one got their feelings hurt.
Mhm.
Right.
And I feel like that's what recovery should evolve into.
Yeah.
Now, there are some groups in town, like I think YPG's like this, where they nobody's going to beat you up and run you out.
Right.
But there's some meetings in town, like they will run you out of
Run
town
you out.
for standing up and saying you're one or the other.
I stay to the meetings that I can be myself at.
I think I'm surprised that people like that stayed sober.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
people that are like that judgmental and get their feelings hurt so easy. I'm shocked that they stay sober if they're actually sober.
But it's weird because that's a huge part of like an AA program, is to be open-minded and to welcome everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that's
because you feel like you're walking on eggshells, right? There's a little bit, for me, it's like anxiety. I shared my testimony at the Gratitude Club, like a week or two ago, and I remember being in there, and I asked the gentleman that asked me to speak, I was like, am I allowed to say drugs in here? He's like, yeah. Like, it's fine. And then I got up there, and even as I'm talking, I'm like, I'm wanting to be real, about what's going on. And I just stopped and I said, raise your hand if you have a problem with me saying the word drugs. And no one raises their hand. I was like, all right, cool. Gloves are off. We can go. But, that's just kind of the meetings I always went to. And, I couldn't really be that open about it. And you would think, like Joel said, you would think more people would be open-minded.
Yeah. And I look at recovery, I don't want to say different, but like, as long as I don't forget the consequences of putting a substance in my body, then I don't really have to ever worry about putting one in my body. If I get far enough away from recovery and I start thinking I'm some normal person, I kind of run with those thoughts, like we said earlier, then maybe it's an issue. You know what I mean? But the rest of my recovery is all about challenging myself. Wherever my fear is, that is what I confront. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's nothing in my recovery on a daily basis ever that's me trying to stay away from a drink or a drug. It's just challenging fears and being of service to other people. And that's it. So I don't know how you could, bash someone for what, you know what I mean?
Oh, it's possible.
Where they go to. Yeah, I mean,
I talked about this Wednesday. It's like I've learned to just let them do what they're going to do. Like, they're going to say silly things. They're going to be super judgmental people. Just let them. It's like going to catch up to them in one way or another. I also had been talking to someone about like primary emotions and secondary emotions, and I'll explain what I'm getting to in a minute. I've noticed, like, when dealing with like certain clients in our program, for example, you'll see people get really angry, and I've learned that that's a secondary emotion. There's usually something primary going on to cause them to be angry.
Yeah, fear.
Like fear, or what I've learned is try to get to the bottom of what that fear is. Like, maybe your fear of losing something, or a fear of pain and that, or hurt or challenge. A lot of people have different secondary emotions. Like, I might get angry. You may start crying, or vice versa. You may beat someone up, and I start
crying, you better run.
Joel, what is your secondary emotion?
No, I get frustrated here and there. I get definitely angry. Because I'm seeing Steph nod her head, so maybe that's true. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard him yelling earlier.
But fear, pretty much only primary.
Do you ever get quiet? Like, in a moment where like you're afraid or you have fear, it's like you back off and like isolate.
Yeah, I'm trying to isolate right now.
Yeah,
I'm stuck in this room.
I mean, That was one I didn't realize was a secondary emotion, was silence.
Yeah.
Like in reaction to something that you're afraid of.
Hmm.
Um,
I didn't know that.
what's your take on that?
What, just another reaction?
Like how would you help someone that is showing a secondary emotion because of fear? Like what is a good strategy for dealing with that?
You push them to be around people. Create,
Depends on what fear it is.
yeah, have them be in an environment that, I mean, like I naturally, my whole life, like, like I'm naturally an isolator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Lone wolf.
like my idea of like an amazing Friday night sober, just by myself.
Yeah, well,
Sounds
I like
amazing.
that too.
Like
It
that's
sounds
how,
good to
you know what I
me.
mean? Like a little dinner with myself, little TV, man. It's like, man.
Yeah.
I do that every night.
How long would it go on?
It's 8 o'clock.
You're just living it up,
Oh,
man.
just
You
Living it up.
you got a
I don't
good,
know how I'm gonna get in
you
a
got a good
relationship.
life.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
Um,
a girlfriend will probably break you down on that.
Yeah, you can't be quiet.
Yeah.
Look at Zach.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's why
For,
he's quiet.
for
and
those
entertained.
that can't see, Zach has the dog curled up in his arms like a baby.
So cute.
So, real quick, I just wanted to let everybody know that we as a company, big shout out to Nolan and Steve and Zach. We're pressing some shirts. If you're interested in checking out the new shirts or purchasing a shirt, just know all the contributions and the proceeds go to helping people in early recovery. We use that money to pay Greg to change the cameras. We also allow him, we use that money to buy bus passes, cell phones, things of that nature. And it's been a while since we've had shirts. I don't know that we've had shirts since the fentanyl walk, have we?
I don't think so.
No, we've kind of just went on a dry spell. But we're pressing a bunch of shirts now. We got a bunch of new prints. We got some new blanks coming. You can get them if you want to get them in person. You can come to our meetings on Wednesday night. That's at 1801 North Lockwood Ridge Road. It's Grace Sarasota, Grace Life Sarasota's, I guess, secondary building now. We have tables set up. You can come in. It's $20. You get a shirt, and like I said, the money goes to a good cause. So it's like a $20 donation, and you get a cool shirt because of it. You can check out the meeting live on Facebook every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. This coming week, we have Charles Foshi, I think how you say it. Charles is sharing his story. And then Jose the week after. And then on February 25th, Joel is going to be giving a presentation or a talk on who knows what. I don't know that he knows. Do you know yet?
I think I'm gonna talk on the journey. Like give him kind of respect for your own journey.
Oh, that's perfect.
Not looking at it as like a negative thing.
Should I like do a soundtrack with like Journey on it? Like
maybe like I walk out.
Yeah.
Walk out.
I mean, I think that would be awesome,
That
dude.
would
be
At
sick.
least have some kind of like theme song to walk
That would
out
be a
to, like
perfect
pump you
Yeah,
up.
we should definitely work on the production value over there. We need a new
Yeah.
camera, like bad.
Yeah.
And we need the audio system. Oh, the dog's here, mascot.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Look at that. She goes right to
So yeah, the meeting on Wednesday night, that's a good way that you can come out and support. You can also follow us on Facebook. Donations, things like that always help. You can check out our website. We actually have 2 websites now. Project Exodus Corp is the nonprofit side. It has all our merch on there. You can donate on there. And then we also have projectexodushomes.com. That's where you can get more information about our homes. If you know someone that's looking for sober living, you can go on there and put in an application. You can also call me, Joel, Shaneal, anybody involved will set you up on a path to get into a program. One little thing I did want to say, I did something. I'm not trying to get credit. I just want y'all's opinion on this. So I'll go to Wawa for lunch today. And when I go to walk in, I see this guy eating his lunch off the like silver trash can in flip flops. It's freezing cold outside, shorts. He's got a hoodie. And I go inside. I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, man, maybe should I go ask this guy if he's okay? My like anxiety got up. I get my stuff and I'm getting in the car. And then I'm like, I got cards. So I just grabbed a business card, walked up to him. And I was like, hey, man, you live around here? He's like, yeah, I live up the street. And I just finally was like, well, let me back up. It's like, bro, I'm a recovering junkie, no judgment. Here's my card. If you're interested in getting sober and getting out of the cold, we've got a few beds up. And he's like, oh, okay, man. Like I'm cool. And I left. Well, he texted me like a couple hours later and I told him the information about it. What is that okay to do?
Yeah.
to assume someone needs help.
Shoot you.
Yeah.
Because
I mean-
I wish somebody would have done that when I was on the
Yeah.
street.
In fact, throw them out to everybody. There's probably more than just a guy. in
Not
flip-flops.
everybody knows about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I know I didn't.
I didn't
Yeah.
either.
I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? They don't take you up on it?
Yeah, no, you're right. I don't know why I get so insecure about like what that person's gonna think. Like I didn't want to, hey bro, you homeless? But
Yeah.
I don't know. He received it well,
Yeah,
and then he texted me and he asked some information about it, and so I texted him back. I was like, just give me a call. He hasn't called yet.
Yeah.
But he was like, how much is it to move in? How much does it cost? And
You planted a seed.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So 2 years from now, he'll probably call like thoroughly, like,
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah, it's cold out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Not
blessed.
bad to him.
blessed
Though.
enough.
He was
No.
actually
He was chilling. He was eating that lunch
from
off
up
the
north, you
trash
know?
can like it was nothing.
It's like,
That's
this ain't
just-
too bad. Man.
He hit me. I'm like, he's eating a Wawa sandwich and a soup just off the trash can.
Yeah, that's which part? The sandals? Which it was off the
Eating
trash
your
can?
food on the trash
Yeah.
That was
can.
what said, oh, this guy needs help.
Well, then he was wearing like some like old slides with no
Yeah.
socks on. It's
His
like
lack
cold
of-
outside. It's windy. I'm like, oh, this poor dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was definitely euphoric. He was just chilling.
Yeah.
Like you'd have to be high to sit out there and do that.
I don't. It's interesting. Like, I wish we could advertise a better way, like a little bit more out. Like we do a lot with the podcast and the shirts and stuff, but like, for the people that recover out loud, there. But like a way to, just be
think-
straight up, like,
My philosophy on that is like, I don't ever remember being out in the woods looking at my phone thinking, "Where's the recovery homes?" Right?
No, not look. Yeah. Look,
Like I feel like the way to advertise is get out there
Yeah.
and like just mingle.
here's a trash can lid.
Yeah,
brick
and
it.
like using the Kissimmee thing as an idea is like we went out there and then, granted, I mean, I bet there's been 30, 40 people that have come out of those woods just because we walked out there and was like, that was our form of advertising, right? Like, and we're not even doing that in our own hometown.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be.
Well, where would we do it? Just walking around?
Yeah, I think we just
street
go
team?
into places like it.
I mean, sir, the farmers market won't even return my call. Won't even.
But the farmers market's not using drugs.
Yeah, but you have
The bus
but
stop.
like I think you connect with people that are important that can actually provide opportunity.
Yeah, I mean,
for more
I don't
fun.
think it would be. I mean, I think we would just have to, plant a seed, like she said, like the guys that are sitting under the tree across from the Circle K up the street, like
Or the bus
Yeah.
stop downtown. There's
Yeah.
a ton.
they just
So
hey, like,
Circle K, would you like to stop giving out free refills all summer long?
yeah,
Well, I like
Send
to
these
leave
guys-
Narcan places sometimes. So you could put like Narcan in a little baggie with a little card
yeah. I mean, I think that's
and a little message of hope in there.
yeah. I mean, I'm a face to face type of guy. Like, let's go talk to these people,
Well, that too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where you
I've
going?
always
You going
wanted
back to
do
your
that.
tent? Here, let me follow you.
or like find
Awesome.
people in our homes that maybe are like 6 months removed from those people, right?
Yeah.
Like they escaped it. They know them personally. Like, I think that would create at least a level of trust with who they're talking to.
But there's not, and we're just talking about like homeless population stuff. There is thousands of people in our town right now that are on the verge of divorces, and the children are seeing the craziest things inside some of the
That's-
nicest homes in town. And like, how do we even? They have no idea about recovery homes and kind of that transit. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah,
people
'cause-
suffering that aren't eating off.
That's a
trash
good
cans right now.
question. Like, that's a really good question. How do you
thousands.
get in front of people like that?
And we
But-
don't
but
even have
if-
like a commercial.
but
I don't
Even
know.
like in that application, I would imagine if you were still living at home, like on the verge of divorce, you're still in like some pretty serious denial.
Yeah.
You
Or
know what I
just not sure where there's even to go. I mean, we used to get calls all the time. Like Greg would get calls like it would be from the wife, like he's got to go. And I found your guys' house. You know what I mean?
How did
Like,
she know
it's-
Greg?
He, Craigslist back then.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like your go-to.
Yeah.
So it's like she's on there looking for another house for a room or some affordable housing because they're probably splitting some income or something.
Yeah.
But, hey, if you want to kick your husband out for drinking, give us a call.
Call Greg. Yeah. Well, what else you guys got tonight before we close it up?
Do we have anything? We haven't done this a couple weeks. What did we miss? I feel like we missed a lot of stuff, Greg.
I don't know. I mean, we've had a lot of content at the meetings. Recently, I told my story for the first time.
Oh yeah.
That was intense. I had like a month to think about it, and I didn't prepare at all except in my mind. Maybe I wrote down a few things, but it was something that I've been, like you talked about earlier, fear.
Yeah.
That's been a huge fear of mine to get up and public speak and and at least tell my story. One, it's like, who wants to hear my story, for one, but I, at some point in time I had to realize, if my story helps one person, two people, it's really all that I need. I don't need to move the whole audience. At first I was thinking I needed to, come with some thunder and it be like some grandiose idea of, some comedy skit. And it really didn't need to be anything like that. I just needed to get through it. Whether Andrew did say something a while back when he told his story. It's like, who cares if you don't do good? You just get up there and do it. And I was like, that's some wise words coming from you. And I kind of took that to heart, and I went up there and just, I couldn't believe I spoke for 45, 50 minutes. I never talked that long in my entire life. And I still didn't finish the story. I still didn't finish, everything.
I think everybody does that too. Like everybody I've asked, oh, I only got 10, 15 minutes.
That's all I thought I had. It was like 50. I was worried, dude.
Yeah.
I actually I was about to go up to you right before the meeting and be like, look, man, I need you to come up here and start asking questions at about like 15 minutes in, because I got a blank.
It makes me realize like how much people really have inside to give out. You just to let it out, I mean,
I think that's what it's all about, dude.
yeah.
It's like, once I did that, I'm like, dude, this really wasn't that bad. And it's like jumping out of an airplane, for the first time. It's like all that anxiety leading up, thinking about it, how it's going to feel and what it's going to look like. And then all of a sudden you jump out, and then 10 seconds after, you're free floating. You're not,
The fear's gone, dopamine's hitting in.
Yeah.
Like the drunk guy at the party, like, where are you guys going? I still got
Right.
more to say.
I got more. Yeah, dude.
Round 2 is coming up, man.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I know Shaneal told her story a while back. I was like,
Yeah, she flicked off
I
the
need to
entire
redo.
audience.
it did.
Yeah.
You had just moved into one of our
Yeah.
houses
I
too, and you
did.
told the story. I was like so envious of you. I'm like, how the heck did she
I had
get
to go
up
back
there
and
have that?
censor all the F words.
Listen, I have a vendetta
Potty mouth?
against fentanyl, so yeah. I'm gonna blame Angela. She brought up the F fentanyl page, so
You can say it here. I mean, I'm not really mad.
okay. Well,
You're free
the
here.
fuck fentanyl page.
Just not on the church pulpit next time. She wore a shirt that said F fentanyl.
Yeah.
I was
Flipped
like,
everybody
I was
off.
like, this is gonna go great.
Pretty sure I had on booty shorts too.
Plus, we're trying to be on point. Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry. My bad.
Like, we were trying to get in good with that
Yeah, yeah.
congregation. Like
My bad.
the pastors at home watching it. Like,
Yeah.
what is this?
I promise at home no one's surprised.
We just found a new home.
yeah.
Oh, we had just found this place. It's on us. It's funny now because like even Pastor Joe's like he said something on stage one time like said shit or something, and I was like,
Yeah.
what's the heck?
What was all this? Yeah.
What is all this no cuss?
Well,
John shared to celebrate.
that was good.
Oh yeah, did you go?
Yeah. I went.
How was it?
It was
You
good.
would know if you were
It was
there.
pretty smooth.
Went Charlotte.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. It
Well,
was good.
they have some daycare.
What?
I said they have daycare.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
just playing.
There was
was
yeah, it must be the same people going there every Sunday, because I stuck out pretty bad. Like,
What do you mean?
But no one's used to seeing them there.
Yeah, everyone's like, "What's going on?" Like every single
Yeah,
person.
you could tell
points
who
out.
all the famous people were. It was Joel, Pastor Joe, even John now because he's never there anymore. So it's like the people who, that you don't really see in
What
Celebrate
were they doing?
Recovery.
Like asking you to sign autographs?
I mean, it
It
might as
felt
well
weird.
been.
Touch my
It
child.
felt weird. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
Steph was there. Pastor Joe came up and said, "Congratulations
I don't know why.
What
For
are you
what?
congratulating me
for date
Y'all get-
finding
y'all-
Did y'all
me."
get
Did y'all get
get
married?
engaged? Like
No.
He should have been.
we know they know
congratulating
something
you.
we don't.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. I don't know
Lord.
anything.
Say
Maybe he knows he's in touch with the Lord.
Yeah.
Closest.
God.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
got secrets that we don't know
Oh
about.
my god.
He
Yeah,
probably-
it freaked
Probably.
me out.
No,
I was
he-
done for like 30 minutes. I'm like,
Like, how funny is it going to be
my
when we
God.
like revisit this in like 2 months? He's like, Pastor Joe ran into him at the jewelry store or something,
The truth will come out.
and then like
Yeah,
him
like,
and
what
him
are
and
you
Joel
doing?
lock eyes. Like Joel's
Yeah.
like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Like,
what are
what
you doing?
Yeah. It's supposed to be a
funny.
secret.
Yeah.
It's not coming out till Valentine's Day.
Oh man, we just got over one wedding. Like I'm not ready for another one. I want another one. Like, we had to sit at the reception for 2 hours.
Yeah. We haven't had a podcast since the wedding. Nothing.
No, it was a little rough. It was a rough couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we went through it. Like, I feel like we're at a new chapter. We slid into a new chapter without really realizing it.
Yeah.
God does for us what we can't do for ourselves.
Hey, I like it.
Congratulations.
Right. Well, all right. That's it. Big shout out to all the people that are pressing shirts. Did all the shirts get pressed?
Yeah.
Presses get turned off?
Steven crushed it.
Sounds like Nolan's is still on. It's still clicking in there. I was sitting over here the whole time. I was like, yeah, he must still be cranking them out over there.
We need to push people to get to the website a little more. Probably
Which one?
Project Access Corp for shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. If you see this, I'm going to try to clip this up. Like, look, the shirts, everybody I run into wants to know when we're going to have more shirts. It is most convenient to go through the website. You can go through there. You can order any size, any color.
Yeah.
Check it out. Like it's really good. We're going to put some new prints up there this week, but all of our collection currently is on the website. So if you're watching this and you want a shirt, check out the website. It is the best way to get it and mail it straight to you. Shipping's cheap.
Do you have fuck fentanyl shirts on there?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure we do. We've got a lot of really good shirts, so check them out. But that's it. Episode 49 is in the books. Big shout out to everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Shout out to Greg, Steph, Steve,
Nolan.
Nolan. What's your daughter's name?
Jordan.
What's that?
Jordan. There we go.
What's your boyfriend's name
Zach.
again?
Yeah, what's it?
Zach.
Who am I forgetting?
Mia.
Mia. That's right. And Joel.
The emotional
Big shout out to
support
Joel. Well, all right. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place. Love you guys.
Love you.
We're
See ya.
out. Peace.
Later.
dog.